Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome very much to the channel. Esoteric Cloud Surfer is here to talk about Sun trining Jupiter. Thank you for watching, leave a like and subscribe, your support is greatly appreciated, and use the links down below to reach more of my content and to know more about my services and to book some readings and consultations with me. So we have Sun in Aquarius and Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter is in retrograde though, so it's almost going all the way back to the start of Gemini. So if you missed some opportunities with Jupiter in Gemini, once it goes back direct, you'll have a lot of time to catch up, especially because now Sun is in Aquarius. So we have a trine, we have a gift between our actions, expressions, and visions, and our wisdom, knowledge, how we expand, how we travel, and how we develop and take conclusions out of our own testimonies. And how so? What are your testimonies? Just you go through a situation and you extract your own wisdom and knowledge. Let's say you and your friend or somebody that you know went through the same circumstance. Exactly. You were both there. Maybe it was a bit traumatic, maybe not, right? But just imagine this in your mind. Even though you went through the same circumstances, you will develop, without any doubt, different outcomes. You will not outcomes, conclusions. You will develop different wisdom and knowledge. You might even get same physical conclusions like, oh, we shouldn't have done that, but spiritually speaking, or building up in the way that you're going to predict and act on future events, you guys will develop two different types of wisdom and knowledge. So one of you might get scared, another you might get encouraged to do better. For an example, right? So that's your personal testimonies. You going through a circumstance, and then you have your own saying, you have your own vision, you have your own wisdom and knowledge, right? And Jupiter is in Gemini. So what does that mean? And then what does Sun in Aquarius mean, right? So Jupiter, like I said, represents wisdom, knowledge, expansion, and Gemini represents mutable air, the ability to be mutable and adaptable, and sometimes mix a bit too much with your thoughts, ideas, ways to associate, analyze, and socialize in mercurial ways, cold, detached, or logic. Now that doesn't mean antisocial. Actually, Geminis are very sociable. They are actually so sociable that they sometimes struggle to develop deep connections. And that's where the detachment comes from. Because for example, Aquarius, it's literal detachment, like very sociable as well, but when Aquarius develop connections, they're always at least a bit serious or a bit more deep. And when Aquarius detach, they really detach. And sometimes Aquarius is detached in order to attract some attention. Because it's like, oh, I'm gonna get away from you so you feel my difference in your life. The thing is, most people will notice that difference, but they feel intimidated or they feel hurt by the Aquarius, and then they will never reach back again, and the connection most likely will not happen. But that's the Aquarius spirit, because detachment is usually good because you are your own space, your own spirit. So it's better to be alone, to be solo, than in bad companies. That's actually a saying here in my country, Portugal. Mais vale estar só do que mal acompanhado. It's better to be alone than to be with bad teammates. And Aquarius is the pinnacle of that, while always wanting to have friends and have a group where you can celebrate each other's individuality. But that's the perfect balance, or the perfect desire, the perfect hunger that makes a good Aquarius good leaders, right? But we're talking about Jupiter and Gemini. Hold on. You see, it's already working, this air trine. I'm already expanding on my words and thoughts. Let's stay consistent, right? So Jupiter in Gemini means that you can expand your wisdom and knowledge, the way that you travel physically or mentally, because sometimes, imagine you have a routine and pattern, right? You do the same thing every day or almost every day. And sometimes it feels like an extreme hassle. In the other times it feels like a breeze. That's travel. So that's traveling spiritually. Because when the time goes really fast in that routine and pattern, it means that your spirit was able to go through many spaces and get entertained itself, and then bring some good juices, some good energies back to you. So instead of you being so focused in that task that you usually do every day, your spirit was traveling somewhere else. And then when you are in the task and it takes super long, it It means that your spirit is not traveling, it's spending too much time in the same place, right? So with Jupiter in Gemini means we can expand on all those things by associating being more light and being more open and more communicative with our own thoughts, ideas, and ways to socialize and analyze in logical ways, right? But also that means that you can expand too much and go too forward with gossip or just talking too much about yourself and your personal life. You can be talking too much about others and not focusing in your own projects or in your own subjects and the personal matter. So with the Sun in Aquarius, bringing that gift to Jupiter in Gemini, we can bring more consistency, more stability, or more stubbornness as well to how we expand our wisdom and knowledge by being mutable and adaptable with our own thoughts and ideas. So it's in the same realm. It's still about logic, still about associations, connections, society, subjects, and topics that we talking around. But the gift of Aquarius is also bringing more uniqueness and more individuality, and especially more self-value. Also some changes, so expect some changes in your connections and associations, or at least in how you and others perceive, talk, and extract conclusions about those interactions or the subjects being interacted upon. So a positive gift here is just to bring more uniqueness and more individuality. So the conversations can be, and most likely will be, more about unique, realistic circumstances, about some organizations, even governments, or just groups of people that are trying to achieve or a unique goal, or they're trying to achieve a normal goal in a unique way, right? Negatively speaking, it also might make you feel or make others act a bit repetitive or too predictable, and it might not be bad, it just might perturb you or other people, right? Because some people like a bit more unpredictability and not knowing the outcome of certain circumstances and situations. Also, positively, it can bring the Sun in Aquarius trining Jupiter in Gemini more self-value. So you'll be talking a bit less about your private life. You can be valuing a bit more your time, so you can also separate and bring more limits and boundaries to certain connections and conversations. So you might still connect with the same people. That doesn't mean you will be cut off, but you actually, in certain circumstances, should just limit how much you are talking. So you want to limit the scope of the subjects and topics being communicated in certain relationships. And then Sun in Aquarius can also bring a bit more of selectivity. So by you cutting on certain relationships or on certain topics, it means that the ones that are really worth it, the ones that celebrate your uniqueness and your individuality, and the ones where you see also some uniqueness and individuality from that partner, from that conversation, it means you can go a bit further and explore a bit more and communicate a bit more personal and unique ideas. Because one thing about Aquarius is that sometimes they choose to not have certain friends or a certain amount of friends because they really value uniqueness and individuality. They can communicate with that person, but that doesn't mean it's a valuable relationship because they don't see uniqueness, individuality, or just that coolness factor in that person, right? So Sun in Aquarius trining Jupiter in Gemini also can bring a bit more stability and structure to your networking and association. So it means that you might be able to expand step by step in just your association game, how you talk and transmit your values and ideas to like your co-workers or people that evaluate you, or just to people around you and your friends in general, and they can see a bit more of uniqueness, knowledge, and intelligence in general about you, or about the subject, about a topic that you are personally interested in, or that you see some uniqueness and individuality. You can expand upon that by communicating more lightly, more surface level, more relatable. You know what I'm saying? Also, It means a bit working the other way around, Jupiter trining the Sun, that you have a gift to expand in your own vision about yourself when it comes to your intelligence and your ability to make sense, realistic, but still be unique and bring innovation. So basically, that will expand your sense of self-confidence or your sense of, or the desire to communicate. If you don't have that already built up, you might be expanding on some insecurities, on some you seeing yourself lacking knowledge, lacking the ability to communicate. And that's something you can work on, especially as the Sun goes through Aquarius. It's a great time to build something up because Aquarius, fixed air, ruled by Saturn, ruled by Uranus, it's all about building, you know? So it's not about, oh, I don't have it right now. So instead of you expanding on that insecurity, expanding on that lack, expand on, okay, I don't have it right now, or I don't feel secure about it right now, but I can work on it. I can make it a more important part of my routine to see myself and actually do it, aka communicate, express, and act in your own way, in your own thoughts, in your own ideas, and in your own personal interest subjects while bringing some uniqueness and individuality. So thank you very much for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. Leave a like and subscribe. Use the links down below to reach more of my content. For an example, my gaming channel, and also to check my services and to book them with me. I hope you enjoyed, and I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions, and a whole bunch of individuality, creativity, and responsibility as well. Also remember to believe in yourself, in all possibilities, and that the best way to be is to be your goddamn self. See you next time.